Welcome back. Now more on a subject we touched on yesterday, if you recall. Scandals involving U.S. fast food chains in China continue to make headlines. Authorities are investigating allegations Shanghai Husi Food Co for selling chicken and beef past their expiry date to many fast food chains in China. The McDonald's, KFC, and Pizza Hut restaurants are all reported to have stopped using products from the firm. It all started from a 2-month undercover investigation by reporters from Shanghai Dragon TV. They said that Husi workers were repackaging and selling old chicken and beef and saw clear evidence that the stale meat was being repackaged with shelf life extended for another year. Now, KFC and Pizza Hut owner Yum Brands has developed quickly in China in recent years. According to the National Business Daily, it now has more than 6,300 stores in China, of which more than 4,500 are KFCs. It also says the company has a net profit of $399 million in the first quarter this year. With the Chinese market, it's, of course, main contributor. Now, to hear Chinese net users' thoughts on this topic, let's now join our researcher Esther Deng in the newsroom. Thanks a lot for joining us, Esther. First off, what are Chinese net users' first reactions towards these reports?
Well, these stores are quite popular in China, and of course, plenty of net users are quite shocked and angry. First, have a listen to Tongbu Shibai from Jiangsu. I just went to Shanghai and ate McDonald's there with my wife. What will happen to us? And can I sue them for compensation? And we also have this Shandong-based poster who says, I once told my mom that brands like KFC and Pizza Hut's food sources were definitely safe because they are well-known foreign companies. And every time I eat outside, I choose them. But now I really don't know what to say. But there are also others, especially those who have worked in these stores, who don't feel surprised at all. For example, this anonymous poster says on iPhone.com, anyone who has worked in these stores knows selling out-of-date food is so common, and the more you sell, the more bonus your boss will get. And also this poster from Guizhou, who shares his or her own experience, says, I once worked in the delivery sector and sent food materials to KFC. I have to say, every summer, the meat they bought smelled so heavily, and some even went off. Well, some others feel all this has nothing to do with them. Like this anonymous poster from Hunan who says, well, I'm lucky enough since I never go near them.
So how has the scandal affected customers' confidence in these brands?
Well, on this question, first I'd like to share a survey carried out by the web portal sina.com.cn. It asks, will you now go to KFC, McDonald's, or Pizza Hut? So far, more than 27,000 people have responded, with more than two-thirds, 68%, saying no. But a report in the Oriental Morning Post gives a rather different picture. It says that yesterday there were still crowds of customers in a McDonald's store in Shanghai. And the newspaper quoted some customers as saying they've already got used to such food safety scandals. And this poster, Guntang, on gxsky.com, has this analysis. Well, lots of people here won't really care about such news. After all, compared with gutter oil, this is really no big deal. Well, gutter oil means used oil that is collected from drains outside restaurants and reused again. And yes, that is pretty bad too, and another common problem here in China.
Then, who do net users think should bear the most blame for this latest scandal?
Based on what I've seen, posters' opinions are quite divided. First of all, lots of posters put the blame on the stores that use these supplies. TCH 1992, who says, by using out-of-date materials, these stores have made so much money in China. They should be heavily punished. But some others attribute this to the supplier. One typical example is Rou Lian Dai, who comments on QQ.com. For me, it's a problem at the supplier. KFC or McDonald's just pick up the supplies. They are not responsible for checking their quality. After all, the meat was labeled as acceptable anyway. Well, a lot more argue that it's mainly due to the inaction of China's food regulatory bodies. For example, Shui Guangjie Tian V5 from Beijing, who asks, What are the regulatory departments doing? Why is it always reporters who find out these food scandals first? And finally, this sarcastic comment on iPhone.com. So undercover reporters are much more useful than our civil servants.
All right, finally, Esther, it's certainly not the first time food safety scandals have hit headlines here in China. Why do net users think such things happen again and again?
As for reasons, lots of pollsters think it's mainly due to the lack of regulation and that food companies only get punished once they are caught out. First, have a listen to 迷茫的人生, who says, the news said that the problem foods have been sealed up. Then so what? What to do with them? No follow-up at all. And this Guangdong-based poster asks on 163.com, pulling the food off shelves, is that enough? Those involved should be sentenced to 10 years in prison. And this poster sounds confused as well. Such a big food scandal, why not conduct a criminal investigation? Finally, I'd like to finish up with this take post on haha.mx. We should think about that why these stores have become so bad in China. It's due to a lack of regulation and punishment. And also, we have reporters who do undercover investigations and such things. But what about more ordinary food stores on the street? Who bothers to investigate them?
Interesting. Thanks a lot, Esther. That was China Take researcher Esther Deng with some views on the latest fast food scandals in China. Well, still to come, some of the top trending phrases on China's most popular search engines. Stay with us.